All right, there we go. Get some people in. Perfect. I'm recording. Awesome. Okay, so now when it comes to this, right? The biggest thing I want to know from everyone else, so drop in the chat. By the way, if you're just here and you're ready to go, like if you're eating, I get that, but just drop it here in the chat so we know who's here, who's playing full out, who's ready to go. Drop that in the chat for us so we can get that going. All right. Oh, we got people playing full out. Sweet. Kane's here, Mark's here. Awesome. Sweet. Don's assistant's here. There we go. I know Don's also here. Don plays full out. I like Don. Playing full out. All right, let me get rid of those. Awesome. I have a quick question. I'm with Faye. Okay. Team, we noticed our connection rate has dropped these last 2 weeks and tips to make it better. We'll definitely, Christian, we'll have the team reach out to you in the chat. So they'll just reply here. We will get that for you. And if we don't answer it fully in the comments right here, we'll definitely make sure to bring that up on the call. Sound good? But we're definitely here for that. Thank you for the questions. Keep them coming on there because that's really important to have those connection rates. Okay, absolutely. Okay, so we see that. We got that in the comments for the team. Okay, biggest thing that I want to understand from everyone on here is that like today's topic is we call it inbound ad masterclass. It's basically paid ads through Facebook ads. Now, I know there's rules and regulations across all industries and so forth, but before we even get there, I just want to pulse check now that we got everyone in the call and so forth, is that when it comes to right now, and I'll drop this in the chat as well. How do you get your leads, like when you get new fresh leads and everything else, is it like this is dating myself right here, the Glengarry Ross leads, right? Like, are you getting cue cards? What's MMI, if you could help me understand that one as well? How are we getting leads? Thank you, Katie, for jumping in, helping out with that. What's MMI? How's everyone getting your leads right now? If you're going to get a fresh 100 leads right now, I'm just saying 100 leads for a number, right? But if you were to get that, purchase leads from them. Okay, so it's a group that you purchase leads from, right? Existing book of business. Okay. Matt, do you ever get any new leads from anywhere else, or is it strictly referrals? Loans that have closed. Okay. There we go. Sweet. I need more leads. That's today's call. So no, absolutely good. Good to understand that as well. Okay, what else? What are other people doing? Thank you guys for playing full out, by the way. How are you getting your leads right now? This is probably one of the biggest things that we always focus on with everything that we talk about. Well, by the way, this is one of my favorite subjects, and you'll see why in a second when we get it going. How's everyone? And by the way, if you can also all drop in, what industry are you in? So I'll just drop the word industry in there. But just to give me reference on here, like what do you do? Because I know we got like life insurance, we got others, we got crypto. I don't remember if it's crypto. Sorry, it's forex trading. Apologize. Mike, you dropped in Facebook. Is that Facebook organic, like your own post, or the groups? And you're in insurance. What type of insurance? That would also help out, Mike. Mortgage broker. Awesome. There we go. Financial services, IUL, yep, annuities, perfect. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, so I'm going to share something with you today. The biggest thing, and it's kind of already in there, but I just want to talk about this for a second. There's a lot there, and I'm a very fast talker, but for today, we might not cover everything that's listed, right? We'll leave it open for questions and so forth, right? Um, I'll stop at different points to like make sure we have it. And the biggest thing to understand, okay, provide manages ads, perfect life, okay, is that when you're looking through these different things on here, is you're gonna get the document and you're gonna be able to ask questions as well. So like take it as you see fit and so forth as we can move forward and help you out with this. And our ultimate goal is to help you out with this. Lawrence dropped in final expense insurance and digital Facebook leads. Is that Facebook ads or is that Facebook organic? Like what describe how you're getting the leads. And then now let me share my screen so we can actually jump in today's. Yeah, ads, perfect. Okay. So here's a cool part. Some of you, and this is the reason why I popped up, some of you are already either buying ads or you're running your own ads and so forth. Today is about how you can run your own ads or how you can even probably convince the company that you're working with to buy their own ads to get some more stuff as just another lead source. If you are already getting leads from a source, we are asking you to think about diversifying. We're not telling you to cut off your lead source and completely abandon and move over, right? It's definitely one of those things that we've seen that as you can get exclusive leads, sometimes they might cost a bit more, but they're your own versus shared leads or age leads. I don't know how many of you guys are dealing. Drop a yes in the chat if you're dealing with shared or age leads, by the way, right? Because what we're looking to do is exclusive. And so, Matt, that's the key thing, right? Is running ads and lost money on here. We'll talk through that as well as you look through the different stuff. You are in, Matt, just look at financial service, IULs, and annuities in a very difficult niche for that, but I'll walk you through how to do that and how to get some stuff out there. So we're not saying go out there and do all these different things. So yeah, the calls are not going to call next call. Yes, exclusive. Okay, so you're exclusive. Some of you are shared. Shared being like you have to share the lead with like four other providers, sometimes three to four other providers. Age being like they signed up 8 years ago. And they're like, who are you? What's going on? Okay, exclusive. There we go. Okay, perfect. So there we go. Let me share my screen now and let's get this going. If you, let's get, okay, there we go. If yes in the chat, can you guys see my screen? We're good? Okay. All right. Sweet. Perfect. All right. Make sure to drop questions in the chat. We'll definitely take them in the chat. If we get to the very end, which I'm planning on not doing a full deep dive on there, we can definitely pull people up for panels for questions as well. Sound good? Everyone good with that? Okay, so you can see the screen. We're good. Let me do two more things, just make sure I can see all the comments coming in. Okay, so Inbound Ads Masterclass 2026, right? It is built for 2027. I was going to be cheeky and put that, but like maybe a little too early. But we are future proofing and building this. So here's a quick thing as we go through this. Here's all the stuff that we're going to be talking about today and all the techniques as we go through this. One of the biggest things that I would challenge you to do as we look through this is at some point, if we have time, we're actually going to go through and do some AI. So you can use your chat GPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, whatever you use, your preference, right? You can go and take these things into there and run with it. The ultimate goal is just to get a better understanding if this will make sense for you. And so that's the goal for today. Any questions, feel free to drop them in. Um, yeah, perfect. And Kaden helps you out with that. I don't see any Q&A, so we'll keep Q&A for technical. I know it's there, but I just don't have it pulled up. So I can see comments on here. But thank you, Kaden, for that. Okay, so why does this matter, right? When it comes to all these different things, you're already doing the dials, you're doing all these different things in leverage by cap and everything else. The inbound ads have no ceiling for how people come in. Now, they will provide you happily with a lot of people in front of you. I'm not saying these have to be your budgets at all, by the way. So don't freak out about this because people have before. Is that you can spend between $50 a day to $5,000 a day, right? In ads. Do you have to be within that range? No, right? You can be a little bit less than that, but what you're going to find out if you're under 50 is just that it's going to kind of sputter, right? It's not going to have a complete motion over time. You do want to get up to $50 a day if it's working for you. I don't want to be like where Matt dropped in, like, hey, we lost money on this. So I'm not saying, hey, go drop $100 a day and figure it out, right? Like you can start small, but once you start seeing stuff work, that would be the goal to have it figured out for you so you can get that doing. Inbound ads isn't magic, so we don't have a wand or a rabbit's hat or a rabbit pulling out of the hat, right? It is math plus art and science is kind of the way I like to explain this. So we just want to look at the biggest thing. Now, here's the stuff that's happening. There's AI photos, there's AI videos, there's all this AI stuff out there. I love AI for the record. AI is doing some really amazing things. At the end of the day, you have to make sure that your message still resonates with people, which I have a couple books behind me, as you can see in the camera. But there's a couple books like right behind me about like breakthrough advertising, which was like written back in the 50s, that is still true today. And so there's some more principles that are on there that will help you out through this. One biggest thing that I like to cover on every call that I do is that if you need previous trainings that we've done, or you need to get support, just like Kaden and the team are playing full out in there, any FAQs regarding this, I'm just going to drop this in the chat for you. You can definitely go there for previous recordings or email support and so forth. So just want to make sure that's always available for you so you understand. Oh, and look at Jonathan on cue, right? I paid Jonathan to do that, right? Jonathan, I'll send you the check about if it's recorded and so forth, right? Just so we can help you out with this. Perfect. Yep. Okay, cool. So want to get that over to you. And then Jonathan, any other questions we can definitely bring back in here so we can help you out with that. But yeah, the biggest questions we always get probably on every call is just replays and recording. Yes, this is recorded replays. I'll double check one more time that is recording. It looks like it's recording, so I'm going to feel like it's good. Okay, so that's that. I probably covered some of this. I'm just going to look through it really quick. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. I've mentioned that before. If you're new, right, you're probably still in the cash infusion phase. And so the cash infusion phase is just outbound prospecting and so forth. Like you probably have different methods. So if you are not here right now, don't feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? He's going to force me to run ads. There's nothing at the end of the day where it's like you have to go run ads. It's just we're trying to give you that opportunity. And as you can see in the comments, some people are already running ads. So we just want to provide our take to help you get there faster, to get exclusive leads. If you were ready to go and do this, it doesn't take just 30 minutes. It is taking a block of time so that you can get that for you and so you can do this. So the last question I have on this part about the quick note is just be honest for yourself. It could be information that's good for later. So ask questions now while we're doing this live so that you can get a better understanding of this. If this is where you are, where you feel like, man, you know what, I do need exclusive leads, I would sit down today and tomorrow, right? Because it's Thursday, Friday, and go and knock this out. So block off some time to go knock this out so you can start getting leads your way, right? So that's going to be the whole thing on here. Previous recordings, Matt, is right above where I said the important FAQs. Oh, I'm sending it, by the way, to host and panelists. I just noticed that. Let me send it to everyone. I apologize. Uh, okay, there we go. Sorry. So all my messages beforehand were sent to host and panelists. I apologize, everyone, versus sending it to everyone. Okay, so there we go. The important FAQs, that's where you can find Matt for the stuff. What's the best practice for ads? Don, absolutely. That's what we're going to be covering today. So we'll definitely help you out with that. Perfect. Thank you, Kaden, by the way, for dropping that in for Matt. Okay. So when it comes to the goal, right? Some of you probably feel like you're chasing prospects, right? And that can happen on, the different stuff as you're building them out and so forth. But when you get ads and you get so forth and you get that running, this is probably the fastest way to get exclusive leads that are looking for exactly what you're really doing. So this is where you want to reach out to them first. Kate, I didn't know if you want to talk about call boards in just a second. This is probably a good spot for it. Let me know. But this is where we want to make sure that you get what we call a speed to lead, to where like if these people fill out a form through Facebook, that you're reaching out to them pretty much right away. Now, if you're using HubSpot, Go High Level, any other CRM, there's probably a way to connect your Facebook ads and get that response faster so they can reach out to them. Our goal that we like to recommend is at least within 5 minutes that you reach out to a lead as they fill it out during business hours. If they fill it at midnight, I'm not saying reach out at midnight, that'd be a little weird. Um, but definitely ways that we can reach out to them and get in front of them. Everyone sound good with that? We're good so far? So that's the goal with everything that's running on here. So the training is going to walk through a lot of this stuff, and you're going to see this. These are pretty much all the bullet points that are down below as well. So I want to make sure that we get that really dialed in as we move forward for this. Okay, so when I mean the research and choose a market, let's do it one more time. Some of you dropped it in, some of you didn't. I'm sending it now to everyone, not to host and panelists. But what's the industry that you're in, right? Let's drop that in one more time just so we have a cleaner list right here. I can also scroll back up to the top to see that. And you'll see the reasons why. So financial service, life, mortgage broker. I'm finding that list as well. Okay, industries, final expense. Okay, thank you guys for dropping in twice, by the way. Uh, pulling full Robert insurance, dropping what type of insurance? Like Don dropped in life insurance. Because here's the reason why. If you ran ads, and I'm just saying this out loud, right? But if you ran ads saying real estate, like, hey, we help with real estate. What type of real estate? Is it like fix and flips? Katie, of course you're in software. If you're, like what type of industry are you really dealing with in the person? And so life and health. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Because when you're running out with ads, you don't want to be the one that like advertises to everybody. You definitely want to have stuff that really speaks to them, right? So like pick one niche that can speak fluent and like homeowners over 60 who don't have final expense coverage, right? This is the audience that we're trying to look and build. Now, can you serve everyone for, final expense? I get that, but like who are you really looking at and who do you want to work with? Not saying, hey, people who need insurance, because this is it's very vague. It doesn't mean who the type of insurance you have and so forth. So for today, I went back and forth about like, I'm going to cover every single topic. We'll talk through it, but I do want to workshop some stuff. So I'm going to take this a little bit slower for you. And I want you to actually go and fill this out for me. What's up, Diana? Software. Okay, now, Caden, I'm going to play full out for you, Caden, and Diana as well. What type of software for who? So can everyone go fill this out in the chat? You can copy and paste this. You will get this document, by the way. But can you fill out who's a specific person that you're working with? What's their problem? And what's the way that you help them the solution? Because then what we're going to try doing, so take a moment to write that out. What we're going to do is test your positioning with the sentence. We're actually going to put it into that sentence and see if it makes sense. If you want to send back that sentence with those answers, feel free to do that as well. If everyone's clear, just drop a yes in the chat. I know you're typing right now, but if everyone's good, if you are not good, this is a time to ask questions. So I will stop talking for like 10 seconds. Okay. You can't copy? Maybe right click. Okay. Ask questions right now. If you can't copy, then Donna, I would just look at that and type it out, right? Just your answers, right? Like the specific person, we can fill it in for you. Cool. If anyone needs. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Awesome, Jonathan. Yeah, we'll definitely connect. We do have a school, so yeah, we can connect on that afterwards. All right, so drop in we call them the three S's, the three S formulas. When you have them, drop them in. All right, there we go. Because by the way, these three S's will dictate like the rest of the call of how we can help you out and how we can help move forward as well. So that's why it's really important to really like we have helped so many people like in marketing and in life insurance. I do a lot of auto insurance, by the way, for like State Farm and Progressive and stuff, right? If they don't have this dialed in, that's not gonna really like help. Okay, so let's take a second. Once you have it, please drop it in chat as well. Yeah, there we go. So Don's dropping in. Make sure everyone else drops in as well, and then we'll start going through them. Yeah, Thomas, Jonathan. Pick one problem. Yeah, I would try one problem. Like, what's the bigger problem that they're going through? Good question, by the way. All right. Okay, so let's look through these. So Don works with individuals, teachers, and business owners. I would choose one ad. Don, when you run ads, you can run three different ads, but this one at a time, right? Retirement planning, education videos, and seminars. Perfect. Don, I got some cool ideas for you about this, right? Like, hey, if you're teaching for over 20 to 30 years, what's your plan afterwards? Let's talk, right? Let's talk about retirement, right? Even if it's 30 years down the road, let's still talk. You can, Jonathan, just lay out like what's your exact niche that you're focusing on. You just want to make sure it solves a problem so it resonates with people because you want them to stop when it comes to this. By the way, the funny part, and Tomas, sorry, I'll come back to yours and then we'll jump into cadence. Let's actually go Tomas and we'll go down the cadence. All right, specific, you help veterans, cool. High rates make them save and protect their family, save time. Yep. Specific way which the name process the system solves. Test your positioning. We help. Okay. Bill, and no, you said, oops, sorry. I was reading it. Okay, drop it in again, Tomas, with the sentence part. Caden dropped in the sentence. Cool. We help sales team to get more conversation sales and appointments in 1 week using Power Dial and call boards without wasting time. Caden, you know what's the coolest part is on this call with the 30 plus attendees that we have on this call, how many people agree with what Caden's dropping in there? That's what Wave can do for you. Pretty sweet, huh? I mean, like, I would just see, look at there we go. You're getting some emojis, you're getting some yeses. And so, like, that's when you know your message resonates. That's awesome. Don, you dropped in retirement. Yes. Okay. Gus, you dropped in. See, there you go. Like you nailed it, Caden. Caden gets the holy tacos for whenever your company lunch is, your next company lunch. Okay, we help homeowners sell their home fast. So, okay, so Gus, if you realize, I think above you mentioned just real estate, but now you're really breaking down. We help homeowners sell their home fast and for the most amount, positioning the house as the obvious choice. Yep, in the market without having lots of showings with no offers. There we freaking go. That's a really good one, by the way, Gus. I'm proud of you on that one. That's really cool. I mean, everyone else is good. Don't get me wrong, but that one like covers all the pain points on here. Can we just talk about one thing, by the way? Your three S's and your messaging. Jonathan, I see yours coming in as well. Kudos for that. I'll check that out. Your messaging isn't just for ads, it can work in all markets. If you are unclear what your messaging is for even cash infusion and everything else, then you can take it and go back to your cash infusion, to your offers, to your sales, to your marketing, and take it from there. Okay, landscapers, no AI, crap follow up, not enough leads, way sweet website and everything else. Okay, so here's the thing, like I would focus, so like when we talk home services, it's a very broad industry, but let's just take landscapers, right? We actually have clients that do a lot of landscaping, so that helps out a lot. Hey, stuck mowing the lawn or doing the outdoor living landscaping versus helping someone with this, like if you're out on a job proposal, then you're not going to be able to answer the phone. We can help. Something simple like that. And the we can help is kind of like the intriguing, like, what is it? And then they see what you talk about on the way about like how you can actually help them out with that. So it's really cool. It helps out a lot. Okay. So we got that. So you guys are understanding this. You guys are playing full. I feel confident with where everyone's at so far. If you haven't dropped this in, there is no bad answers. Because let's say you dropped in something you're not too confident. I just want to make sure this is clear. If you drop in something that you're not too confident in, we are here to help you. Our job is to help you. And so that's why I want you to drop it into where you're at. We're not like, oh my gosh, so and so doesn't get it. We're not doing that on this call. We are here to help you. This is why we're sharing this. So at any point in the time, you can drop in your 3S or your sentence as well, and we can help you with this. So now that some of you have played out with this, right? If you haven't, feel free to do this. But now that most of you have done this, even if you're doing it on your own notes, now you know who you're targeting. Now we go to the offer that you're providing them. The biggest thing I'm going to go down to when it comes to the offer and so forth is that we're not doing the e-commerce, we're doing mainly leads with this. And so when you're looking through all these things, is that no one opts in if it's this feels too generic or like there's no value behind that, right? If you really look at the market, what they're trying to do, and you're not trying to close the sale on the ad. So that's why I also talk about like it's not e-commerce, being like they might not be ready to buy. This is probably the first time that they've actually seen you, right? For this. And so then once you grab their information, then that's where Wave kicks in to put them on a call board to actually get them calling and so forth so that you can start talking. We call this method the tip of the spear promise. So it's not your whole product menu. Like for instance, when you see an ad for, I know it's lunchtime for some people. Some people just had lunch. You're having lunch or you're about to have lunch if you're on West Coast, right? Coming up. When you look through this in the tip of the spear, you usually see like one menu item or like an ad for it. You don't see like every single product. They're not going to be covering every single product. They're going to be shown one thing that they really, really want, right? Peace of mind equals working through discomfort. Absolutely. Yeah. And start with books. There we go, right? And so that's the funny part about this. So you do want to start with the pain, not the features of what you're offering. Now, we're not trying to say that you have to make the pain dramatic, but like you're not going to be like, hey, guess what? We sell final expense policies, right? You're really going to be starting with like your family will be stuck with the funeral bill. Do you really want that? Like, and then I added that question. It's not listed here, but like, what's the thing that if you were in person, you asked that question, I would put that in your ads. So your family will be stuck with the funeral bill. Now, can you come up with different ways? Are we saying this is the best perfect way? No, but this sounds a lot better with the highlighted area versus we sell this. They don't care what you sell. They want to solve a problem or a pain that they're going to be hit with, right? Map each pain to a tangible outcome is probably the biggest thing. By the way, I know if this is too small, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit for everyone. Sorry for that. Map each pain that they have. So, like, I think Jonathan, you mentioned like you have multiple ones that you can work with, right? Um, Help them with like which one they're at and the gaps that they have and how you can help them with this. I like to tell people pick the sharpest outcome that they're looking for. That's going to be the most clear for them to provide results. And yeah, and this is a good question, Jonathan. So if you're struggling with the discovery and problem awareness, I'll just reach out to them like, hey, landscapers, like simple question, right? I know you said home services as well, but like landscapers, like, hey, who handles your phone calls when they come in, or who handles the leads? And what I might also do, and I'd have full disclosure with them on this, I might fill out a form on their website and just wait to see how long it takes for them to respond or give me a call back. Just that simple, right? Like fill out a quote, fill an estimate, and the second they respond back to you, hey, I saw that you responded really fast. It sounds like you got your system dialed in. Who built out your system or what it is? Or if you found a lead system and they don't get back to you, hey, I filled out a lead yesterday and you never got back. Who handles those leads? Did you see my lead come in? And they're like, wait, who's this? Right? Then you can talk about like, hey, full disclosure, we help people with their lead system. I call it, if you guys remember back in the day, the secret shopping or the like customer survey, right? We've done that for clients. It works out really well. And so it's very old school, but you can still do it today. So you're going to pick the sharpest one, the best tangible outcome. This is what you're using for your offer and your value right here. Everything else you can save for the rest of the call. When you actually jump on the call, then you can talk through what they need and so forth. So I wouldn't save it all up front on the ad. They're not going to read everything. By the way, if you notice how little people read now, there was a survey about like people only see something for like 3 seconds. I guarantee you it's less than a second because of like I call it like the TikTok effect of where people scroll super fast. If you don't capture them right now in a half a second, it's gone. It's kind of the same thing with ads as our approach versus like people thought people would read a long paragraph. They don't even read anymore for the most. They skim a lot. So that's something that's there. So the offer is compelling enough, the leads will see it just enough, and you might have the answer for them. That's exactly what gets them to submit the information, right? And we say into wave being the being able to dial for them and get their information and connect with them. Everyone good with us so far about offer and value? So I'll just drop an offer and value in the chat and just drop a yes. If you have questions, this is your time to ask. We are doing good on time, by the way, so this is good to keep going. I'll look through the rest. The rest is going to get very like meat and potatoes of it, right? And then we'll land the plane. Let's jump into copyright. So if you have a question about offer and value, either drop a yes that you're good or a question, and we can come back to it. We'll definitely help you out with that. Copywriting. So it's called the PAS framework. If you ever drop in the PAS framework for any language learning model of Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, right? Yeah, Manus, right? There's all these crazy ones. It will understand what this framework is, which stands for problem, agitation, and solution. So you want to call out the problem exactly that your ICP, your ideal client profile is, right? And the language that they use for themselves. The reason why I say this is don't get too technical and nerdy. They're not going to know what you're talking about, right? If you say the word automation websites, they're going to be like, what? Huh? They're not going to know what that is. Versus like, can you get me more jobs? Is like what our home service people say, right? And then agitate it. Basically, if they continue on that problem, they're just going to sit there. And what's the cost of ignoring that problem? Find if you can find the number or the consequence of doing this. And so, just speaking of these two really quick, there's a YouTube video which is very famous called like the dog sitting on the nail, I think it is. And the dog just whimpers and it whimpers and it whimpers. And it turns out it's sitting, it's not on a big nail, it's not even bleeding yet, but sitting on a nail that's uncomfortable. Your clients, even us right now that's on this call, there is a nail that you're sitting on that we whimper, we talk about that we're not solving. Now, some of you are probably like, I solve all mine. Kudos, but there might be a nail that we're just like kind of agitating, but it's not enough to like move forward because it's not breaking the skin, right? So are the leads that you're talking to. There is a reason, and this is off script, right? So this is in the training. But there's a reason you're reaching out to people in your industry to help serve them and get them better results for what their life looks like. Your job is to help serve them and help move forward. So I want to make sure that's uber clear with what you're trying to do versus just like, oh, I'm just calling another name and another number that I don't know anything about. That's not the case. We are here to help serve people. And the reason why that matters is because a lot of times with everything that we're doing, is that people okay, I had to check one thing. When we're serving people, I think a lot of people are scared to like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna bug the person. I don't know if they're interested or not. If your job is to serve them, confirm that you can serve them is probably the biggest thing, which leads into the solution. So this is where you're introducing that tip of the spear being the most valuable outcome that you can give them up front. That is easy for them to consume. It offers as the fix. And it ends with a clear, and we even like low friction call to actions. So we talked about this, I think, either two sessions ago, or yeah, we talked about a little bit. We actually have it as a full training coming up, so we will dive deeper in this. Long story short, if you think about like relationships, right? If you meet your potential spouse, right, and you don't even know their name, you're not going to ask for marriage. Like, I don't know who you are, but let's get married. That's probably a really high frictions call to action. They're gonna be like, okay, weirdo, we're not doing this, right? We're not going to have this call. I mean, call. We're not going to talk. But if like you get to know their name, you go through dates. I'm not going to explain the whole dating process on this call, by the way, but like there's a process to get to marriage if that's your goal, right? But you got to start with low friction call to actions and move forward from there. So just make sure that you have a low friction call to actions that's easy for them to move forward. The biggest one is can they view the value or can they get feedback? Can they give you feedback? Are probably the top two. So what can they? Can you send them a lead magnet? Can you send them a guide? It's probably other call to actions that are really good. Get more jobs, 297 apply now. Okay, so here's the funny part. Jonathan, in the chat, right? You dropped in apply now. It is one of your best performing ads. I would even challenge you to say, hey, can I show you our process? You want to see our method, right? That's a lower, like, see it is a low friction call to action versus apply now. Apply now is going to get the highest people on there, which is great, but you could also get a lot more people through there and then filter them out through there if you wanted more volume, is probably the biggest thing. Apply now is great if you're running ads and getting that going. It can work out really well. Okay. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, so there we got that for you. Okay, so examples I have for you. Just bought a house and still don't have a mortgage protection sorted, right? That's the problem. If something happens to you, your family has 30 days to figure out how to keep the house. That's not the plan. That's a gamble, right? So that's the agitation, right? So just think through this, and then what's the solution from there? And then this is where you hit them with your statement. Remember the 3S statement above here? Right here. This is your solution basically is the 3F statement. So let's go back down to it. We help new homeowners lock in affordable mortgage protection in one call, right? Or even on one call without a mountain of paperwork. See if you qualify. Keyword is see, by the way. That's a low friction call to action, right? I get the adding friction, by the way, on there. If you are in an industry that works really well, then that can work out. B2B friction works. B2C, it's a little bit harder. Okay, so now here is the prompt that you can plug in AI. I want to make sure that you can actually provide this, right? So let's actually drop this in. You can go do this. We're actually going to keep moving forward. I still want to drop it for you if you're like, "Ah, I really want to test it out and I can't wait till the end. I'm trying to screenshot this and everything else. For today, we're not going to go run through this right now. We might come back to it, right? But I want you to go through this and look through this and actually run through it. If you do run through it and you want to run through it afterwards on the call, if we reach the top of the hour and we still have time, then we can run through this. But this would be the exact framework for you to go use. I want to make sure you have that. Everyone's good? Drop it in the chat if you're good. Everyone's keyboards are broken. Okay, Caden loves it. Good. What about everyone else? Is everyone else good? Watch, Caden's gonna be like this freaking. Okay, Don's good. Okay, we're good then, right? Caden's gonna become this Google ads, Facebook ads guru on here. Hire Caden for this. That'd be cool. Unbelievable. Love it. Good. Awesome. Okay. So that's the framework we like to do and run through it. So now let's actually go talk about the creatives, the build, right? This is the biggest word. If I was to tell anyone on this, right, I'm just going to bold and unbold. Okay, that's a little annoying. I won't do that. Don't overthink this, right? You need a small set of variables to get real tests, not one perfect ad. Everyone tries to build this perfect ad and they overthink it. And you know what happens when they overthink it? They never launch their ads. I kid you not. If you were like, hey, I just want to go test this, put $5 in a day for 5 days. That's $25 for you to test what works, what doesn't. You're going to get back data. I'm not saying you might not get leads for $5 a day, but you're going to get understanding of what people actually care about on here, right? The text to build on here for this, yeah, we'll definitely get you the document. Yeah, we'll send that over to you as well. Definitely reach out to support. We'll get that for you. Cool. Um, is that you want to get 10 headlines. The headlines is kind of like your problem aware. So let's just make sure this is very clear. If we go back up here to the problem, right, call out your ICP, that would also be your headline. So what headlines are covering the problems that they're going through? And when we're saying headlines, it doesn't have to be like 10 headlines that are brand new every single time. It could be variations of the same headline. So don't feel like it has to be completely 10 different new ideas every single time. It could just be variations that are going to resonate with people. The 10 primary text, the primary text is what you see in the first ad, right? Like the main message. That's going to be the PAS above. That will build that out for you. And then the call to actions, the learn more, get quotes. Of these three in book now, right? Learn more is the lowest friction one. Get a quote is a little bit higher. And book now means like you're ready to go. So that's why I like to show you the three call to actions. I personally like to learn more for this. So just want to share that with you on here. Now let's talk about the images and videos. It's probably the most important part on here. You need, and so I'm not going to read out every single one of these things, but the image basically is what we call it stops the scroll. So we want you to have the image stop the scroll, and then the image needs to also resonate with the person that's your ideal client. And so I would have it very bold, stand out. If you could show a video of you actually doing something, so I wouldn't use stock photos. If it could be a video of you or a picture of you doing something great, can you use stuff to have this? Then you can do that. All right, Don, no worries. Then you can show proof like a testimonial, so forth, or a savings comparison. Anything that you can show up front works out really well. There's even something that's a little bit advanced, but I'll just share with you. I think it's called Place It. Canva has it built in, by the way, now. Let me see if I can just go to it really quick. Hopefully, it's not too. Okay, place it mockups. Okay, you guys are seeing my screen. There, you can do this in Canva, by the way, and I'm not saying you have to go do this or sign up for anything else. But the reason why I do this is book mockups are probably the biggest thing that you can do in Canva and everywhere else. But like, have a guide showing someone holding your book, right, like this, and it helps out so much to use those images. So is it stock photo? Yes, but it's also personalize it with your book. So like these things resonate with people. If your ideal audience looks like this, right? Whatever these people are, right? That one's a little weird. I've never seen that one. But like if your person's like, hey, want to be on vacation and have the ultimate guide, boom, check that out. So those are different ones. There's several ideas and images here. Canva also has some as well. So let's place it for the images. It can work out really well. You just want to put people in there for those different things. Most Indians tried it. We'll get a lead form submission with good copy. Yep. Around 2 weeks. Yep. Absolutely. Really good stuff. Awesome. Thank you for the takeaways, Otter. I'm going to delete that, by the way. I got you. No worries. Okay. Yeah, you can make the images in chats. Absolutely. Just I like to make look more real. Don't have 6 fingers or 8 hands. I like how all the honors are now doing this at the 40-minute mark. That's crazy. Okay, so we got that. Now the actual setup is here. I'm not going to go hardcore through this. I did put one special category when it comes to this, is that like if you are running if before anything else, if you're in a special ad category, and I'll show the different ones, if you're in credit, housing, employment, life and health insurance, anything else, um, you are going to be in a special ad category. That means that you just have to target more broad and so forth and watch the verbiage that you're using. Please use the compliance of your guidelines of your industry, of your company, and so forth. So you're not saying anything that you're not supposed to say. So please do that beforehand. I want to make sure that's clear for everyone as you do this with everything happening, right? So when you have that, drop that in there, make sure that's there. The biggest thing, and I actually put this in here, it's just you can't put any interest targeting, gender, or age, right? And the minimum of 15-mile radius. So you can't go hyper precise on where someone's at, right? You used to be able to do 0.25 radius for like a year is so funny because I would just like target like certain people. It was like awesome. It was great. Um, but here's the different things you can do, and these are a little bit more advanced, but you can use custom audiences, right? So you can upload your contact list to Wave. If you have over 1,000 people, right, you can upload that and find custom people like that. That's a very easy, not easy, but a good feature to have. Add copy and a demo filter. So like over 55, want to lock in this rate before it goes up. This would be used as one of your headlines, by the way. So I'm going to highlight this. This is one of your headlines above to stand out. So, like on your problem as a solution, problem adaptation solution, you'd use that. If you have a geographical location, then that will help. Cost per acquisition in CAC. Sorry for putting in an acronym for you. Um, but make sure to target your audience. Don't target all of the United States. That's probably one of the biggest issues that we see a lot of people doing. And so, all these different things, right? And this is definitely a thing to go through if you're doing a special ad category. I laid out the setup for you. You want to choose leads. I would leave this on, right? It's getting better, right? It was horrible at first, but like after the past 18 months, it's gotten way better. Target the place that you service, right? That people can come and find you, unless you are nationwide and so forth, right? I would still target like closer versus anything else. Match your ideal client profile, right? So definitely find this out. If your audience isn't over 55, I wouldn't use the 65 plus targeting. I would definitely keep it below that. Detailed targeting is less needed, but if you're in a special ad category, you don't need that. Creative dynamics is something you would turn on. The reason why you're going to turn this on is because you're given enough up here. Let's go back up really quick. You're given enough for it to test with the ad creatives. If you run this and if you run this prompt, you're running enough for it to actually go test. Let the data tell you creatively what's working, what's not. And then the lead form does take a second to fill out. Ask one or two qualifying questions about like if they're good, like are you a homeowner? Are you looking, do you have retirement set up? Yes or no? Like Ask them different stuff because you don't want pre-filled information. Google has done this before, is what people are saying. Like, it has just sent your information over or their information. Like, I never filled this out. How dare you? Stop following me. Like, you get some weird stuff. So ask a question that they do have to fill out for qualification. So do add some friction. Um, this is a little nuanced, but like if you're going to schedule ads, set it for an hour out just to avoid any delivery errors. So that's the targeting. It's all there for you, so you can go and punch this in. If you have any questions as well, you can also come back and ask us, or you can take this into your favorite AI and ask it any questions, even screenshot what you're working on. It should give you the answers if you upload this as well. The truth on this, I'm not going to read this twice, but I would want you to read it twice. $5 a day will not get you enough data to tell you anything real. It'll get you the initial, like, what content's working, what content's not, but you're not going to get the ultimate goal of a ton of leads off $5 a day, right? So you would want to run a little bit more. Um, for this. And this would be something that like I'd even go run it for, 5 to 10 days at $20 or $5. Anything else to do this? Over time, the biggest signal is you want to get the $50 to $100 a day for your company. If you are solo or doing this for yourself, you're probably not going to spend it over $50 a day unless you're getting enough leads from this and it makes sense. But this is what we really tell our clients to do is like you have to have enough set up for the next 2 to 8 weeks on here. So like our clients, we teach them how to get like a $2,000 a month and at least start there and then grow up to this, right? There is no cap, just so you're aware of this, right? But there's definitely ways that you can support on volume. So let's jump to the next part. We'll cover two more parts and open up for questions because I know this is a lot. So we'll cover the next three sections, do a quick recap, send you the document, and you can go work through to ask any questions. Cost per acquisition is the CAC right here, the CAC, right? So the biggest thing on here is like as you're running through this, you want to make sure your numbers make sense. And what I mean by this is like if your cost to acquire a client is $600, but your commission's only 200, you've lost $400. We don't want you losing money from this. The ultimate goal is that this should feel like a vending machine over time, where if you put money in, you make it back. If you can get your cost to acquire a client to 150 and your commission 750, it's just made up numbers, by the way. Then this makes sense. You're profitable from client one. It immediately makes sense. It helps a lot if you're getting recurring money from people. If you're not, it's a one-time expense that you're getting from people, especially high ticket. Just watch for your numbers, right? Biggest thing I would share with you when it comes to numbers as well. If it's your first time running ads, and let's say that your commission is $1,000, it will probably cost you an investment of $1,000 of ads to break even on your first client to learn what works and what doesn't. And then the second client and beyond, you'll get a lower cost of acquisition and you'll start making it profitable. But it does take time and it does take effort to go in there and put this in. Everyone okay with this? I know this is a lot of information. It's probably the least commented stuff on here for this, but it's definitely something that can help you out with this. So you got to make sure that your math makes sense while you're running this data. We have a rule of thumb for you. Don't spend more than 25% of client's lifetime value. On this is a probably thing, and we also have a minimum bar on here. So we have that stuff that you can go and run through. You can upload this document. We did build it to be AI friendly, so you can upload this document, upload information about your business, and then ask it questions and see how well it does, by the way. So I'm telling you to upload this document into AI and ask questions. We dropped in the optimizations as well. This is after you launch a campaign. What do you want the click through rate to be at? If you have a landing page or a lead form, we could also put lead form here as well. I know it's going to drop down lead form. You want at least 15 to 20% is your goal to get towards. If you start at 5 to 10%, we'll find out which one works best and you can get better. Self-booking rates, people booking on your calendar. Cost per call, if you're taking calls back in the wave, this is probably what you're going to average depending on the industry. Some industries are a little bit more like financial services. You might get closer to double this, but how much are those clients worth? Probably a good amount. And then your cost to acquire a customer. So we always tell people don't scale if it's not above 3%. So like basically make sure that this number hits first and then focus on the next number, then the next one and so forth, right? But I wouldn't move forward unless your creative is at least getting a 3% click-through rate. It's probably the biggest thing that we teach people. You can go through the rest of the stuff on reviews and so forth. We won't cover it now. If you were to run a budget, one thing I just want to mention about this, if you were doing $50 a day, it would take 6 days to get the amount of impressions you need, which is 5,000 to see results. If you spend $100 a day, it would take 3 days. So if you're on a lower budget, right, it's going to take a little bit more time, but give it the patience and time. I tell people don't judge a campaign unless you spent 5,000 in impressions. Impressions being how many people have actually seen your ad. So don't judge any campaigns or any ads until that has happened, which does require investment into your campaigns, right? So don't run it for a day like, oh, I already got no results. No one became a lead. I'm going to turn it off. That's not how it works. It takes a little bit more time than that. Okay, one more thing. I know this is a lot, by the way. One more thing to cover, and then we'll go through this. By the way, you basically just got what we cover with people in a week, but we actually stop, we build it out. It takes about like, I would say 10 hours, about 2 hours every day for 2 hours a day for 5 days to build up this whole thing. So we're trying to give you the master class up front just to give you a lot to work with. But then like if this shows interest and you're like, hey, I really want to actually go do this and build it out, definitely reach out to the Wave team so we can talk through this and show you what the actual looks like, just for everyone else. So don't feel like, yeah, you covered it in 47 minutes and I have to know everything. No, no, no. This is like a 10-hour course given to you in a condensed model, just so you understand if this makes sense for you, let's talk, right? Okay, so lead introduction, not the sale. Same day follow up. The speed to lead matters. We talked about that at the beginning, right? This is Wave strength, by the way, being able to call text, get that stuff in there. Ideally, double dial if they don't respond back. Sell the call, not just the offer. We have talked about that before. So don't call it just like a free consultation. Give it like a saving analysis call or coverage review. Give it something that really stands out to them, so they would want to see that and move forward from there. And then remember, they sent it, they showed interest. So this isn't a cold lead. This is a warm, if not hot lead for you. So definitely get that. If on the cognizant we've already talked about before, if they give you generic answers, really push in there about like dialing like, hey, what made you fill out this form? What did you want to see from this? Like asking very detailed questions. We'll talk about these couple things and then we'll move to Q&A for the next 10 minutes and we should be good. Okay, you have a recap of here. It's basically everything we talked about the different things you can go and do. You can also take this recap and says, here's the things I need to cover for my business. Can you go and do that? Then the goal and next step right here. So here's the things. If this is where you are at today, remember at the very top of the call, we said, if you're not ready to run ads, you need to do cash infusion, please go do cash infusion. If you need to run ads, we gave you the roadmap right here of what you need to go do to be successful in the next steps. The top frequently asked questions every single time we've ever talked about this in channels and communication with clients and calls, comments, and so forth is there. Can I just start with $5 a day? We did talk about this right here, so here's the answer for you there. Is the limit how high you can scale your daily budget? No, you can do up to 5,000 easy. Don't spend 5,000 unless you know it's actually working for you. Do I still need to do outbound once ads are running? In the early days, we absolutely say yes. Outbound still funds the ads on there. So definitely keep doing outbound. Don't think that this is going to replace outbound from day one, right? You still have to do outbound until ads get up and going. Over time, can it replace it? Yes. But that's I would say at least a couple weeks, if not more than months down the road until you get it really dialed in. CTR is click-through rate for business purposes. No one's booking calls. What's wrong? It's probably call framing problem that you need to do to make sure it's benefit driven is probably the biggest thing on there. I don't know if it's priced right. Look at your cost for a commission and what does it actually look at? We don't want to go over 25% is our goal. By the way, when we do this for clients as well, and we can set that up, it really sets up the math really well for them. Video wins in the long term when it comes to videos versus images. It just takes a lot more longer. So I would start with images with high contrast in there if you're not ready to film. So start there, do images so you can get that click-through rate. Everyone, that is a lot. Okay, so let's go into questions, right? Any questions about this? If we don't have any questions about this, then we could jump into general Q&A since we have the whole team here if you guys want. So any questions on this? Let me actually share the document as well. I'll get that over to you. Kaden, did you want to talk about call boards at all, by the way? Let me know. Let me share the
Yeah, I
document.
mean, if we have some time,
Yeah, we do.
I can definitely do that. Let me get that pulled up here. Just give me a
Okay,
couple
perfect.
minutes.
Yeah, you got time. We'll take questions and do a call board with the top. Okay, there's a link to copy the document so you can have the document. Let me go back in and grab the PDF because I know some people want PDFs as well. James Madison loves PDFs, by the way. It's my favorite. Okay. All right. There we go. Can we do something really quick? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Well, sorry, pause. There we go. Okay, that's dropped in there. How many of you are going to do this so either later or now for Facebook ads? And I get a majority are going to be later, so don't feel embarrassed that like you're saying the word later. But how many people on this call are going to do this later versus now? And CJ, so help me if you don't say the word now as a marketer, right? Okay, later, that's totally fine. If there's any questions that you want to ask now, you can still ask them now, even if it's a later, by the way. The other thing that we also bring up, by the way, if you are later, I would ask you to ask your companies to fund the initial like ad spend or the budget for the same. Hey, I'm going to get this built out, or if you want to go hire somebody else, we can definitely go hire somebody else. Um, but I want to make sure that we can get this. The doc is not opening. I gave you the PDF and then also the copy. Oh, it's not opening. Sorry. Let's delete that. I see it. I see it. I see the error. That's me, by the way. Hold on. I put copy wrong. Give me a second. There's a V in there. I just deleted that link. Let's try this link, see if it works. Boom, this link should work. I apologize. Thank you for doing that. PDF is above in the comments. This link should work. Thank you for bringing that, by the way. How embarrassing would that be to give you a document that doesn't work? I had a typo in there. There's one letter wrong. Okay, so what questions do we have? That's a lot, by the way. This is not one of those like everyday topic. It's not like you're watching your favorite news section. It's easy to consume and everything. All right, Katie, let's go to call boards then. Go for it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being on here, and thanks for going through that training, Richard. With this, guys, I would just say, regardless of if you're planning to implement this now or planning to implement this later, Wave makes it very, very simple, very, very easy to connect the ads that you're running, these forms that you're running, to a call board so you can actually call these contacts. And so I'm just going to go and show a call board really quick, just about 3 or 4 minutes, and just show what this looks like and how to do that. Let me share my screen. All right. So here is a demo call board that I put together. Now, if you guys have not created a call board, I can just let you know really quick. On the left-hand sidebar, you can just click Wave call boards if you do have Wave account, and it will prompt you to create one. So it's a pretty simple process to create that. But once you do have that, we have default stages and we have default automations in place. Now, with that call board created, basically, in the contacts here, you can set up an import or a connection. The import is going to be that one-time backfill. A connection is going to be a continuous stream of leads that are flowing from your CRM into your call board. And so what we recommend here, just like Sarge had mentioned, right? You're getting these ads set up. We recommend with those ads when they get added into your when those contacts fill out an ad and they get added into your CRM, that you just tag them with some sort of tag that can notify you that this specific contact came through with a specific ad. Now the benefit there is you can add a connection here based off of that exact ad tag. So in this example, I'm just going to do new lead as if we ran some ads through uh, Facebook or whatever. We had to pop into our CRM with this new lead tag. And I'm going to have them jump into this new stage in the call board. So as long as I have that created, then any new contact that fills out that form is going to get pushed directly through the ad into the CRM and then into call boards. And that will show up in your call board right here, and it will pop in with that hot symbol with this default priority automations. And so the benefit of that is if you guys are calling through your call board with that hot priority coming in from that ad, it's gonna automatically pop to the top of your queue, so you can call them as soon as they enter your CRM, and you can get to them sooner while their buying temperature is high, set an appointment, get the sale, whatever that is. But once again, very, very easy to get that set up, and works really well with any ads or forms you guys are running.
Freaking awesome. Thank you, Caden, for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
What would happen right now, by the way, which we're not going to do right now, we would spend the next hour building everything out, and then we would take a lunch break, then we'd come back and we keep going. So no one stop. Everyone go to Holy Taco or your closest taco spot, and then we'll go from there. No, I'm just kidding. What questions do we got from everyone? Any other questions? That's a lot, by the way. That's a lot of stuff to take on. No questions? Keyboards have stopped working, by the way. They're no longer working. Okay. Okay, Kate, saw the comment about the one tab. I got you. Make a part two for next week. Want to see the full build out? Actually, kind of. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You ready for this? The call is quote unquote officially ending right now. So if you got to jump off top of the hour, you got some time, go do what you got to do. Davion, since you asked for part two, let's just build one out really quick in AI if everyone's cool with that. I'm just going to build it out right now. We're going to build out one for the recording. So if you got to go, you got to go. I get it. Davion, can you drop in what's your industry or your sentence and so forth? Life insurance. Do you have a website, by the way, that I can use? Any website? Absolutely. If you got to go, don't worry. You can watch the rest on recording, by the way, if you got to go. So don't feel the FOMO of missing out. Katie, are we okay to go for a little bit longer? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, feel free to. There's
Okay.
no rush for me.
Just a
So
little bit. Just a little bit longer. I mean, watch this. Shuts down at the top of the hour. Boom, you're done. Okay. Davey, I'm dropping this in. Okay, so let me pull up your link, right? Let's do a couple things for you. Well, that I'll start sharing my screen again. There we go. Okay, you're gonna see what I'm about to see in just a second, by the way. Kudos for the picture. Let me get one more thing, and then I'll share my screen and we'll actually go build this out. I'm gonna show you how easy this is to go and do. And okay, one more thing. It's not gonna work. Okay, I'll show you what we're gonna do. Let's go to chat. I'm gonna open up ChatGPT. I get everyone likes Claude and all the other ones. I'm cool with it. I get it. Okay, let me share my screen again. So, David, we have you pulled up. Let me hit share screen. Someone has something in the Q&A, by the way. I just saw that popping up. It could have been there the whole time. I just haven't seen it till now. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, perfect. By the way, I love this wait before you go. I might actually use this, by the way, for some of the ads. So something to think about. This is actually really good. This is really good, by the way. So kudos for that. So I'm actually going to pull that in. You'll see the reason why. I'm going to go. You're not going to see this, so you can see the screen. I'm on your website. I grab the whole document, and you're going to see what I'm going to do. Cool. So watch this. Here's. Can you guys see my screen, by the way? Let me make sure you can see my screen. Okay, yeah, you can see my screen. Okay. Here's the ad. Uh, Worksheet that I'm looking to build out. Can you do everything from the document and build it out for me to review? Now, watch, I'm legit going to drop in the whole entire document as all their session 9. I dropped in the whole entire document. I'm going to go back to your website right here, right? Quick question before you go. This is freaking awesome, by the way. Kudos for this. That's good. That's good. Okay. I'm just gonna go grab this whole website. Did you vibe code this, by the way? This looks really good. I love it. I'm just gonna grab your whole entire website, make sure I have it all. I did. It looks so good, by the way. Kudos, man. That's absolutely good. It doesn't look like an old stale website. That's my biggest thing that I like to mention. It doesn't look like this. Oh, you even got the social proof. Man, you're crushing it, man. Gonna hire you for websites. That looks really good. Okay. I'm gonna drop it in and say, here's the website. Okay, so I just dropped in the whole. I dropped in the document. I dropped in the website. Oh, let's actually drop in the website name as well. Perfect. Okay, so let's go here. Let's also drop this in website. Okay, so I dropped in everything. Let's see what it kicks back for me. Sound good? It's gonna take a second, by the way. By the way, if you're gonna ask me questions about like, hey, which one of these to use, right? You could probably go more advanced. It's just gonna cost you more. The biggest thing to watch out for. I'm not too big on like what GPT thing to use. My team is, but for me personally, I'm like, the one that works is probably the biggest one that I want. Okay. So let's give this a second. Let's allow this to work through it. Q&A. Okay, they're answered. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, cool. Sweet. Oh, sweet. Okay. So now let's look through this. It's working through the whole worksheet. I gave it a lot to work on, by the way. So let's give it a second to go through this. But if you notice what we've done so far, I dropped in the document. right? That we just went over, that we shared in the chat, that you can make a copy of. I took the full website, the URL, and I dropped that in. And now it should just work through all those different things. Can you start with it, just a prompt to make it simple? Yes. But I'm basically asking AI to build everything else out for me. Everyone cool with that? We're good? Nothing too crazy yet? Good recommendation. Yeah. I think it looks fun though. It looks good. Okay. So give it a second. By the way, this is probably the longest time because I've asked for it to do a lot. So hopefully it kicks out a lot as well. It's kicking out artifact. So we should be good. By the way, if you are doing this on your side, just go ahead and kick that over as well. And it should be good. All right. I think I asked it too much. I could have, by the way, it's going to kick out a lot, as you guys are going to see. But like, I think probably the biggest thing that you're going to notice as well is how much it kicks out. I could have done it step by step, and it would probably done a little bit faster. So next time, just for record, probably should have done like the three S's, the ads, the hooks, and so forth, right? But you're going to see when it kicks out, it's just going to kick out everything that you need. I freaking love this, by the way. This looks good. I like even the social proof right here. So you have this. One thing, let's just go through while we're waiting for this. So I'll keep scrolling back and forth. You ready for this? We'll do a quick website for you. I would put one more question on here at the bottom that says, "Hey, didn't see the question or the answers to your questions." And then when they open up, it's a form for them to ask another question to you. That's probably one of my favorite things to do with frequently asked questions is to have one more on there that's basically like, "Hey, didn't see your question." Because the only people that are going to see that are the people that took the time to actually go through that. So I would put that right there for the frequently asked questions. Yeah. I freaking used to live on websites all day long. It's really good, by the way. I put independent brokers as the second line right here. Okay, keep checking back. See, this is what I'm talking about. You have the guides right here. So now when you reach out to people, I even like the highlights, by the way. When you're doing this and reaching out to people, find out which one they need first. And I would even ask that question. Hey, which one of these matters the most to you? Are you a business owner looking for family wealth or tax advantage, right? Calculators work a lot. I always wish, by the way, when it came to this stuff, is there's a little tooltip, which is the thing that shows above, that shows that you can actually move this, right? So that you can change this and so forth. What's the desired coverage is probably something that they would probably want to know about. And years to wait, like how long can they actually wait? See, this is the cost. This is the agitation, by the way, right here, the cost of the delay. It's really good. Still building out. I went too crazy. There we go. Yeah, I love calculators, by the way. You just got to make sure, by the way, I would also challenge you to put Hotjar on here. I'll just type this in hotjar.com. What you're going to use Hotjar for, right? So let's actually go show that to you really quick. Hotjar.com. I don't use it for all the crazy things on here. The biggest things I use it for product wise is just okay, there's a lot. Oh, they even has an MCP now. I get crazy when I see that now. The biggest thing I use it for is they call it now session replays. I use it for the session replay so I can actually watch a video of how someone does that. Yeah, Microsoft Clarity is free. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And so it's just one of those things where you can actually get in there and like check that stuff out. It's really cool. It works out really well. Okay, now it's rendering the doc. Sorry, sorry everyone for the time. We dropped in too much. I dropped in too much. I will take it. The only thing I like about Microsoft, we can agree on that one. I can agree with you on that. See, discuss your options, download comparisons. This is really good. Oh, that's funny. I used to work with a client that liked, what was it? Outlook and then Microsoft Teams. And so that was just a little bit hard to go through. Yeah, this is great though. Everything about this is great. By the way, I will share this in the chat as well, the chat GPT threads. If you want to take this as well, you can definitely take it. It's almost done. When it gets faster and shorter, that means it's just wrapping it up, by the way, is what I've noticed. By the way, this is probably the most anticlimactic ending to a call with momentum, by the way. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna wait. I don't know how long. Okay, here we go. It's gonna kick it out now. There we go. Look at everything it built out for us. The targeting, every single thing. It built out all these things for us, which is crazy, by the way. It built out the whole entire playbook if we want what we want. So let's go look at the document. I know that's really small, so I'm going to try zooming in for everyone. See if I can actually do this as well. I will zoom in, by the way, so don't worry about the fit to width. We're not going to review the whole thing, but it is 8 pages, and I'll share this with you. It lays out the whole thing for you, which is absolutely amazing. Yes, I'll definitely share the chat history link and the document if I can. Executive decision, working assumptions. So this is the thing to watch for it. Yeah, see how it says do not use it. Confirm all the things are correct before you actually go use it. So don't like just take what it gives you, right? Make sure these are correct or update them if they're not. Is probably the biggest thing. We help parents and partnered households identify life insurance gaps in about 2 minutes using a family protection risk review. Awesome. Make sure this is correct. Don't just take anything for its word. Yeah, that's good. This is good, by the way, is what I was trying to say. Offer and funnel. Yep. And you know how to vibe code, so you already know how to build this out, by the way. So you'll be easy for you to build out. Funnel map. You don't have to go as hardcore, but it is pretty cool to have that. I would probably go lead form first. It gives you a copy that you can go and use. Here's your headlines. Remember the headlines from the stuff? It's probably the different things that you have, and so it can definitely help out with that. Okay. So you have all these different things on here, right? PAS framework. It gives you all the different frameworks that you can go and use. This is what I'm saying about testing your ads and make sure like it can work out for you and it can knock it out. So choose the ones that make the most sense for you. I choose 3 to 5 at most. And then this is the different ones that has for you for call to actions. Yeah, this is really good. Creative production. This is if you're going to do actual like scripts and so forth. It gives you videos. If you're not going to do videos, don't worry about this. But if you are, it gives you a video script that you can start with. You can, of course, edit it yourself. Meta campaign setup. Yeah, see, you're in the special category, so you got to watch for that. Yeah, it's definitely farther from the Google images. I get it. No more 6 fingers. Audience plans, I would just go broad, right? Stick with that. UTMs, I wouldn't, unless you're going to go advanced and you know what this is, go for it. If you're not, don't get stuck on this. Follow-up system, this is where you start kicking in for calls and emails and so forth in your system. That's great. Even as a call opener, definitely make sure this is correct. Don't just accept what it is. Test structure, I would skip that. That doesn't matter. So that's wrong. It's you're not a plumber, so I wouldn't do any of this. Run your numbers, yep, on there. Opening benchmarks, yep. Optimizations. This is really cool. It kicked out something really cool for you. Add copy guardrails. Yep, perfect. Look through that. Don't get too caught up in the launch checklist. I would start easier versus crazy, right? Look at this. You're launching a new ad campaign today. Well, you got a whole thing built out for you then. If you did not ask for part two, we were going to end this call. So you asked for part two. You pretty much got part two in 10 minutes, right? So kudos for asking. Ask and you shall receive sometimes, right? I'm not going to say every time, but like this is really cool. So definitely, yeah, look through this document. Okay. I agree with a lot of this document. The reason I always look through this, yeah, hell, absolutely. The reason I look through this document is I have gotten some documents before where like it was just what we call AI slop. And so I always like to do that before I'm like, hey, AI kicked out something, go and use it. And someone did use it one time. I look back, I'm like, that actually wasn't good. So this one's actually really good. I'll drop this into the thing for you. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna share the chat thread as well. And so you should be good. Okay, so hopefully that doc works for you. Let's go back to the uh, let's go back and share the thread. So as everyone saw, this is how fast you can get ads up and going. And if anything, if you upload that document or anything else, you can just ask questions. If you get stuck somewhere in the process, it's pretty easy to follow up. I will just say one thing. So it's all shared in the chat thread. Thank you for allowing me to run through this. Probably one of the biggest things I could share with everyone on this call is when you go test offers and everything else, what's going to matter the most is two things. And we go back, your market, what they actually care about is going to be the biggest thing. And then the second thing is with all the stuff that we're talking about, is just making sure that your offer resonates with your audience. That's probably the two biggest things. So what we teach our clients to do, like with our coaching is just making sure that those two things resonate and they're providing value at a low friction. And it's just constantly testing to see what works. So don't feel like if you don't nail it right away or if you set it all up and it doesn't work, go back to the numbers and see what works first and you can knock it out from there. Everyone good? We dropped that in. Everyone got the links. We should be good to go. All right, I'm going to stop there for today. Kaden, anything else before we go? Good
I
stuff.
don't think so.
Flow before
No, this has been
friction.
great.
Hey, that was done a lot faster than past. Usually that takes like 15 minutes minimum. And do you see how we just threw everything in the AI and it gave it to us? And it gave it pretty good. The PDF is above. I don't know how to share it again. Are you talking about the PDF to the session? I could probably share that one more time. And then we should be good. If not, it should be attached to the recordings, maybe. But just reach out for support if you need help. Let's get the accelerator one more time. We'll give it a minute after I send it, and then we should be good. So this should be the session document that I just shared in the PDF. Other than that, we should be good. Everyone good? Oh, look, you guys get fireworks. We'll put on the wave budget for fireworks. That's freaking awesome. Okay, we are good to go. Thank you all for playing full out and your comments and dropping stuff in. Hopefully that was valuable. If you need any help with this stuff, definitely reach out. We'll definitely get that out to you. If you're running ads, go build out. It's kind of cool that you reached out and said, "Hey, I'm building out ads right now," and you got a full playbook delivered to you right now on the spot live, hot and fresh, ready to go. Just like how your lead should be hot, fresh, and exclusive. That's what our goal is with everything we do. Keep crushing it. Have a great Thursday, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Awesome. Thanks, Davion. That's cool. See you all.